Guys, I'm being an outfit repeater. I wore this outfit in the last Books Before Bed, but apparently I only have like one pair of pajamas. Like, I don't normally wear these to sleep. I'm gonna be honest, especially in the summertime. It's freaking hot outside. I'm hot right now wearing this. I'm not even gonna lie. I've got my air conditioning blaring. God bless the air conditioning, but like, I'm hot. I don't wear this during the summertime. Also, these are technically too short for me. Anyway, I need to get new pajamas to wear for Books Before Bed. That's on my to-do list. Get new pajamas. Also, I had somebody tell me recently that the microphone situation does not work out that well for people who wear headphones. So if it's an issue, let me know. I think it's because this is not technically a mic that I'm supposed to hold with my hand. Like, I'm supposed to have like an arm for it, which, let me just say, I got an arm for it, but I don't understand how it works. I know you have to like attach it to something, obviously, in order to like use it, but I threw the instructions away and my garbage was picked up this morning. So that's unfortunate. Why do I do these things to myself? But just let me know if the holding of the mic hurts headphone users' ears, because I will stop using it, or I will figure out this arm thing and maybe it'll fix the situation. Anyway, hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jesse and this is Books Before Bed, where I chat about books before bed. Chat all things books. I have an array of topics that I'm going to be covering today. These are things that have just come to mind that I jotted down. Also, I know it does not look like it's nighttime, but it is nighttime. It's currently 8:43 p.m. So it's nighttime. Let's dive into the topics for today's episode. The first one that I have on my list, I want to talk about authors that I've read books by them before, and I loved the books by them, but I never touched anything else by them, and I want to touch things by them. Oh, and I want to touch books by them. These are books that I want to read by authors that I've read before, and I really liked their work, and I've never gotten around to anything else by them. That's what I'm trying to say here. I've been thinking about this recently as I just filmed a video where I talked about the best books of the year so far, and in that video I talked about a short story that I absolutely freaking loved, and I actually cannot remember the name of it. The Death of the Six Saints. Oh, I gotta look it up. I hate when I can't remember things. I think it's The Death of the Six Saints. The Death of the Six Saints? It's The Six Deaths of the Saint. It's a short story by Alex E. Harrow told in the second person, and I am obsessed with it. Like, it's just one of those short stories that I read and it just like left a huge mark on me and my heart and my soul. And I know it's gonna be a book that I read time and time again because it's only like 30 pages. It's not even a book. It's a little novella, a very, very short story, and it's just so good. It's about a servant girl whose life is spared by the War Saint of War. I guess they're the same thing. War Saint, Saint of War. And it's so she can fulfill her destiny to become the greatest warrior of the kingdom. The writing was phenomenal, and just the execution of the story in such a short amount of time, I was flabbergasted. Like, I hadn't read something that good in a long time, and it just like shook me to my core. I originally gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm changing my rating. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars because it was worth it. It's one of the best things I've read this year. But it made me realize that I have not explored any of Alex E. Harrow's other books, and I know that they have a lot of other books out there. I think I own like 3 of their books right now, and I haven't touched any of them. Just this random short story that I came across one day. I think I'm going to get to these 2 next, though. I think these 2 are next on the agenda because they're short and sweet, and like the fact that I loved one of her short stories just tells me that this is the next way to go when it comes to reading a book by Alex E. Harrow. I don't know if they're both Sleeping Beauty retellings. They are a part of a series together. In fact, it might be a duology. I needed to do more research before this video, and I definitely did not. But the thing that like caught me off guard is this little blurb in the inside flap of this book. It says, "Sleeping Beauty is the worst fairy tale pretty much any way you slice it. It's aimless and immoral. Even among the other nerds who majored in folklore, Sleeping Beauty is nobody's favorite. The romantic girls like Beauty and the Beast. Vanilla girls like Cinderella. Goth girls like Snow White. Only the dying girls like Sleeping Beauty." I'm just like, hello, I'm intrigued. After reading the inside flap of the second book, A Mirrored Mended, it seems that it is just like a continuation. I wasn't sure if it was going to like bounce around between different, fairy tales, but it does seem to keep up with the Sleeping Beauty retelling. I'm intrigued, and I think the fact that I just was like so wowed by a short story by this author, it has me really, really wanting to pick up more books by Alex E. Harrow. I think this is a solid step to take in my Alex E. Harrow journey, but let me know down below in the comments if you guys have read any books by Alex E. Harrow. I know they have quite a few other books out there. I have one other book by Alex E. Harrow, and that is The Once and Future Witches, which I'm really intrigued by that book as well, but I'm going to hold out on that one, see how these go, and then go from there. there. And then the next author that's kind of popped into my head recently is Emma Mills. I've only read one book by them, and that is This Adventure Ends, which I was thinking about this book recently because I did a book tag, which is coming soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But I did a book tag, and this book came up in that book tag, and I was like just reminiscing and thinking about it and thinking about how much I loved it and how I just never picked up any other books by them. I do have a few of their other books, but I've never like committed to actually reading them. And Emma Mills is also a fellow Missourian. They live in St. Louis. I saw them at an event back in December, and they also used to be a YouTuber, Elmify. If anybody remembers Elmify, Emma Mills is Elmify, and I used to be obsessed with their YouTube videos. I read This Adventure Ends quite a while ago, and I really freaking loved it. I just remember feeling so good after reading it. It's just one of those books that just has that like feel good feeling that follows you after you finish reading it. As things go with me, I never got around to reading more of their books. And they've got quite a few books out, specifically in the contemporary section, which is funny that I haven't read more books by them because I'm a contemporary freak. They had a new release come out and it was sent to me, and I was like, this feels like fate. This feels like it's meant to be. This feels like I need to pick up a book by them and read it ASAP. And that is this book called Something Close to Magic. This is supposedly a cozy fantasy book, so they're taking a step out of the contemporary section and into the fantasy world. I know that cozy fantasy is like the big genre right now. Everybody's writing cozy fantasy. Everybody's reading and raving about cozy fantasy books lately, which I'm down for. Like, I'm all for that laid back, calm, chill side of things when it comes to fantasy books. Like, I love that. I'm here for that. I'm here for this new trend. Will we be oversaturated with cozy fantasy books in the next few years? Yes. Will we get tired of the cozy fantasy genre? Probably. But I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here. I'm gonna ride the ride. You know, now that I'm reading the subscription, I don't think it's cozy fantasy, but it was pitched to me as cozy fantasy. But I also feel like we don't really know what cozy fantasy is yet. I think people are still trying to find their footing with it, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of fantasy books that are not cozy fantasy be labeled as cozy fantasy. But we are following this character named Arielle, and they work in a bakery, and one day somebody walks in and they ask for Arielle's help rescuing someone in the dangerous underworld. So that's why this leads me to believe that this is not a cozy fantasy, because I feel like cozy fantasy is just like chill vibes, and this feels like it's going to be a little bit chaotic when we go to the underworld. I'm excited to read this and see how it differs from Emma Mills' contemporary stories, because I'm sure that there will be some changes there from contemporary to fantasy, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. The next thing that I want to talk about is bookish nostalgia. I've been very nostalgic lately, just like thinking about things from my childhood. One thing is Scholastic book fairs, and also just like the Scholastic order form booklets that we used to get. I used to be freaking obsessed with those. Like, we got them so often, I feel like, in our Friday folders, and I would come home and like mark every little thing that I wanted on the thing and be like, Mom and Dad, please, please, please get me all this stuff. It was very rare that they got me anything, but that's okay. Every now and then they would be like, okay, we can get you something. But I just miss going to the book fair. I miss going through the booklets and just like looking at all the books and just thinking of all the possibilities and all the exciting adventures I could go on through these books. I wasn't like a huge reader as a kid, but I still like loved the idea of books, and I still read quite a bit. Like, looking back and thinking about my childhood, there are quite a few books that I read that like still stand out to me and that I still think about. So while I wasn't like the biggest reader, I still read quite a bit as a child. I just wish that there was like a Scholastic book fair or like a Scholastic booklet order form type thing for adults. Like, why do the kids get all the exciting things? Why do they have to take that away from us? I genuinely don't understand. I am sick and tired of living in a society where when you become an adult, you're not allowed to have fun. Like, no, you have to work. That's all you can do. Like, no, I did not sign up for this. Like, I just think it's so dumb that like we become a certain age and they're like, yeah, no, you're not allowed to have any fun. Excuse me, I'm gonna have fun. Sheesh. I'm very passionate about this. The next thing under my bookish nostalgia section is summer reading programs, which I just learned recently that my library does not exclude adults. They allow adults to join in on the summer reading program, and this whole time I just thought it was all for the kids. No, they include the adults. My library is the MVP. But I just remember spending my summers as a kid like reading books for the summer reading program at the library, and I just remember it being so exciting. I remember too that like my summer reading program gave you like this poster type thing where it was almost like a game board, so as you were like reading books, you would like move space places until you got to the end, and then you would take it back to the library and they would give you rewards. More times than not, it was like coupons for things, but like it was still fun. It was still like a big part of my summer. My mom and dad both worked during the summertime, and so I was home alone pretty much the whole summer. And I think my mom was kind of afraid that I was only going to be watching TV or playing video games, which there's nothing wrong with that. But she also wanted me to be reading books and doing other things and just watching TV and playing video games. And you know, looking back, I'm really glad that she did encourage me to commit to the program, because now I look back and I think about the summers and just how fun the summer reading program was. And then the last thing on this bookish nostalgia section is Borders. I used to freaking love Borders. It was my go-to bookstore in town. Like, I would just go there all the time after school and just hang out. There was just something so cozy and comforting about it. Honestly, I feel like Books A Million comes pretty close to like the Borders feeling, but it still just does not hit in the same way. Like, I miss Borders, specifically my Borders, because my Borders was huge. It was so big. It was bigger than Barnes & Noble, I think. But of course, they had to ruin my life and close it down. I'm still very, very sad about it, as you can tell. But I want to hear from you guys now. Like, what kind of things, bookish things, feel very nostalgic to you? Like, you look back on your childhood and you're like, I miss this bookish thing. It can even be the same things that I listed off. Just let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Speaking of nostalgia, I think something that's going to become nostalgic. Book Depository closed. I was shook. I loved Book Depository. Like, ever since I've been on BookTube, it's been around and I have always loved it. I always loved buying books from them because they had all the international editions that you could ever think of, and you could order them and you didn't have to pay for shipping. It was free shipping worldwide, and it was the best. It was so good. Now it's literally erased from the internet. I thought that maybe Book Depository would like keep its social media accounts open, keep its Twitter open, keep its Instagram open. No, it's all gone. And like, I get why it's gone, because they're not a company anymore. They closed down their doors and they're saying goodbye forever. But I wish they would have left open their Instagram and their Twitter just so I could like look back and just like feel all the feels when I was feeling nostalgic. Because as you can tell, I'm a very nostalgic person, and they ruined that for me. They took it away. They were like the only solid option for ordering international editions. So I'm specifically going to miss the bookmarks that they sent with every order. I have so many Book Depository bookmarks. All this to say, I've been saving my last Book Depository order to open with you guys, to share this moment with you. This really does feel like a big moment, a sad moment, my last unboxing. I know that Blackwell's Books is like the other option, but I bought a book from them recently and it came damaged. You can't really tell on the camera. They did not wrap it very well. They did not wrap it with care, and I'm sad about it. Will I ask for a refund? No, I will not, because I don't care that much. I don't know how I'm going to open this and keep the miking. Also, I need a drink of coffee, like stat. Decaf, of course. It's the final unboxing. Here we go. Oh, tears stream down on your face. There's the last bookmark. I'm so sad. I'm actually so sad. The last book that I ordered from the Book Depository is The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. This is the first book in the War Arts saga. And Wesley Chu probably sounds familiar because he worked on the Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood series. I'm not going to read the full description, but it says, prophecies don't make heroes, they only choose them. It's got a pretty map on the inside. It's an adult fantasy story. I've been dabbling back into fantasy lately, and it's been nice. But rest in peace, Book Depository. Thank you for all the books you brought into my life, and I am now adding you to my list of bookish nostalgic things. Next up, I wanted to respond to some comments within the video from the last Books Before Bed. Where's my phone? My phone is across the room. Let me go grab it. I pulled some comments from my last Books Before Bed video so that I could answer them within the video. I am always so grateful for people that comment on my videos. I know that I am not able to respond to everything, but I see and read everything, and it means the world to me when people do leave comments, so know that I appreciate them. But I thought that I would start responding to comments within these Books Before Bed videos, so that's what I'm going to be doing. First one says, I'm pretty solidly in my fantasy era, have been for years, but I'm definitely in a cozy fantasy phase at the moment. Last year it was more epic fantasy. I kind of think of it like that, breaking longer eras into smaller phases. Definitely old enough to remember the dystopian wave, and I'm curious to see how a new wave would evolve. Yes, I am here for the cozy fantasy era. I'm super excited to kind of delve deeper into cozy fantasy because I feel like I've not really read any yet. So I need to do that soon. I need to kind of like get on it and just see what it's all about, see how I feel about it, which I just feel like I'm gonna love cozy fantasy. And yes, I am also eager to see if dystopian comes back around, what that's gonna look like, and if we're gonna get kind of all of the same thing, or if we're gonna get some freshness. And then Betty, who has been commenting on my videos for years, I feel like we've interacted so much, Betty. They said, "Oh, The Burning God, what an ending to a great trilogy." Yo, that book, it was fantastic, and it destroyed me, and it made me feel everything I felt like I was burning personally. Whew. It was good though. It was fantastic. And yes, like overall, I just feel like the Poppy War trilogy from beginning to end, pretty close to flawless. I'm not going to say it's fully flawless, but like pretty close. I just realized my framing is so off in this video. Not very center, but you know what? Who cares? Books Before Bed is all about the chill vibes where we don't care that much about anything, but we still care a lot because I care about you guys. So I want to make sure that this is like a super cozy, comfy vibe for you guys. The last comment comes from my friend Audrey, and she says, "Ooh, what if chapters instead of eras?" Because the amount of times I said eras in the last video, and I am so sick of the word eras. I'm also kind of sick of the word cozy. I must admit that right now. Even though we're calling cozy fantasy, I'm sick of the word cozy. I feel like it's thrown around so much lately. We've got cozy games, cozy books, cozy fantasy, cozy. It's also like eras. But yes, I do like chapters instead of eras. And I think I'm going to start using that moving forward. So thank you, Audrey. I'm excited to enter my next chapter in my reading life, whatever that chapter may be, to be determined, TBD. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the book that I'm currently reading, which I haven't started yet. I was just reaching for the book and I fully missed that. Did you guys see that? That was caught on camera. Okay, we're grabbing it now. The book that I am currently reading, or about to start reading, I haven't started it yet, is Me, Moth. This is a book told in verse, and in this book we are following our main character named Moth, who has lost their family, and they are doing everything they can to kind of like get back to the roots of their family and like feel like they belong. They meet this person named Sani, who also has lost his family, and he too is looking for his roots, and together they go on a road trip where they hope to kind of find themselves again and figure out their footing. So I'm super excited about this one. It does deal with death. I swear, okay, this is just ridiculous because I have recently been like, I really need to stop reading books that involve death, but I feel like it's just everywhere. I really want to kind of broaden my horizons and read books with other topics in them, but I just keep gravitating towards books that have a death element in them, which I'm not complaining about, but like I really need to like read outside of that. That is it for this episode of Books Before Bed though. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know all your thoughts on it down below in the comments. What are you guys currently reading? If you guys have any suggestions for future episodes, let me know. I'm open to hearing from you guys. Also, let me know about the mic situation. Like I said, I will figure out the arm thing if I need to. I promise I can figure this out, even though I don't have the directions anymore. RIP. Well, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope your day is bright, tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.